Hey, welcome to Hooked on Linux. Today we're going to talk about all this crazy nonsense going on with this data centers. Well, believe it or not, data centers have been around for 80 years. I'm not kidding you. 80 years. 80. That's crazy. First one was erected or built, constructed in 1946. And it was, what did they call it? The ENIAC, the Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer, the world's first programmable general purpose electronic digital computer, which was built by the US Army for military stuff. So they've been storing data there. And God knows how it works. Mind you, it lends credibility to the theory that what we see in technology today has already been established and used by the military for decades. So by 1955, IBM has already built and started using transistorized computer systems. They were just kind of big and bulky, but they handled a lot of data. And it says here, that it was called the TRADIC, the transistor digital computer. And this came to be in 1954. IBM introduced its first completely transistorized computer in 1955 called the IBM 608. Now these computers in the 60s and 70s were considerably smaller, but they still took quite a bit of room. So what do we really need data centers for? I mean, I was thinking about this a while back. I was thinking about stuff like email, correspondence, trade, marketing, all this kind of stuff. You see, there was a big switch. It used to be that everything that you did was contained on the unit that you had. You were your own server. You had the stuff. I mean, the internet really was in its infancy, if it even existed at all. It was, message boards and things of that nature. But everything that you created on your computer, you stored on your computer. Does that sound right? At least that's how I remember it. So the people who needed data centers, a central place to store their data, would be banks, corporations, governments, institutions, things like this. I mean, now we got stuff going on like cloud computing, where you don't even have the software on your machine to run the program. You have to do this all virtually online. That's what cloud computing is. So you're not using your computer to hold the software or the data and all that stuff that goes with it. You're using somebody else's in one of these data centers. So the cloud computing, surveillance, every camera that's out there that's connected to a service that's monitoring or storing, recording, or surveilling has to put their data somewhere. It goes into a data storage facility, a data center. I mean, corporations, they archive your data for years. Corporations, institutions, governments, and other agencies hold on to data for decades. I mean, decades. We got virtual books and documents that go back a long way. Back in the 90s and the early 2000s, there was a rush to digitalize books, artwork, television programs, movies, video into a digital format so that it could be kept forever. And this is the price that we're paying for that now, isn't it? Virtual data, every keystroke that you make online is being stored. Isn't that exciting stuff? It is really, it's really amazing when you break it down. This very video that you're watching is being stored in a data center somewhere and using up space and resources. And somebody's paying for that. Click the next ad. 11,000 data centers put throughout the world. We're gonna have a look at this. So I'm on data center map. It's at the datacentermap.com. And these are all the data centers that exist in the world. I mean, honestly, we can come over here, we can zoom into the United States for all you guys there, and you guys are the world leader in data centers per capita and data centers overall. 4,289 data centers. Isn't that crazy? I'm looking at the map. It's crazy. You would think a place like China with 300 and a bit data centers would be way up there because of their population, but it doesn't work that way. The data centers work on demand. And over here in North America, demand is huge. You see, people are starting to get wind of the dangers and the hazards and the medical issues that you can get by being too close to these kinds of electromagnetic force fields and stuff like that. It's too little, too late. You asked for it. I hate to say it like that, but yeah, you, well, maybe me too. I'm not complaining about data centers. Kind of am, but I realize that this is the price that we're paying for wanting the technology. It's crazy. So let's click on the United States. Let's have a look at that by state where everything is. Texas is the big winner here. So 11,000 data centers. So 4,000, more than 4,000 data centers in the United States. And you guys are just taking it. Sorry, you're taking it. And you wait until the ground is being broken on new ones before you start raising alarms and raising your ire. But you're asking for it. You're using the AI. You're watching YouTube, Netflix. You're streaming TV like it's nobody's business. That comes from somewhere. That's stored somewhere. And I don't want to be that guy, but it's just sheer ignorance if you think that when they say cloud storage that they mean in the clouds. They don't. It has to be built somewhere. It has to be put somewhere. It's in brick and mortar and steel. It takes water, fuel, electricity to run these things. It takes money, it takes manpower. And it's going to be in your backyard because you insist on watching Netflix, YouTube. You insist on using AI. You want to do your online banking and your online shopping and all of these grand and wonderful things. They need data centers. It's not your personal data that matters. That's not what's using up all the space. It's your desire that's using the space. Anyway, man, I got into that. Didn't really want to get into that. I don't like pointing the finger at people and saying you're to blame, but you are. You are the sucker that bought it all. Yeah, 2020 came around and they said stay home, don't go to work, work from home. Guess what? And now we need more data centers because now we have to decentralize the workflow. So it can't be contained in one area. So we need a data center to house it. And that's what sprung them up. So apparently this isn't going to stop. It's not going to shrink. Industry is experiencing rapid growth right now. You can see there's going up all over the place. People are raising the arms, saying, wait, stop, you're killing the environment. Yes, you're killing us. Yes, that doesn't stop anybody. The industry is experiencing rapid growth with global expectations expecting to triple by 2030 due to, it says, AI and cloud computing demand. So I think that cloud computing demands far outstrips the use of AI. I mean, I'm just thinking about every little piece of data. So just to put things in perspective, the kind of things that these data centers require, I got a list here. Power demand, the Stratos project, planning this huge 62 square mile, 40,000 acre data center. This has already been bought and paid for. And when the people in Utah finally figured out what the heck was going on, it was already too late, right? Money has changed hands. Materials are already en route, which is, backed by Kevin O'Leary. I'm sure he's not alone in this. I'm sure there's other billionaires that are lining up because of the lucrative market that's here. So here's power demand. The Stratos project is expected to require 9 gigawatts of power at full capacity, which is more than double the average daily power draw of the entire state of Utah. So to avoid straining the public grid and manage costs, developers plan to generate all 9 gigawatts of power on site by tapping directly into the major natural gas pipeline. So in essence, they're going to be building natural gas powered turbines to power this data center. No wonder they need, 62 square miles, because powering with turbines is a large endeavor, to say the least. General cost context for large 100 megawatt data center, annual electricity costs can range from $41 million to over $100 million, depending on local energy prices. Hard to say. Scaling this up, the Stratos facility energy costs would be in the billions of dollars annually. But the on-site generation is designed to control those expenses. Yeah. You got to imagine on this scale that the infrastructure that they have to construct is comparable to an actual city, like a huge city to build. Just moving right along here. It's water usage. Water is a critical issue as the project is located in Utah. So 6 million gallons of water. Huh? 6 million gallons. How many cubic feet is 6 million gallons? We're going to do some math here, boys and girls. Let's do some math. Oh, there's a trusty calculator. So we've got 6 million gallons. That's 6 million gallons. And 6 million gallons times 0.1336801, something like that. Okay, so we ended up with 802,080 cubic feet. So let's say you want to put this in a building, in a room that's 8 feet high. We can divide that by 8. Where's the divide sign? Divide that by 8. You get 100,000 square feet. And 8 feet high, 100,000 square feet. So that is, take this, let's do the square root of that. All right, so we do the square roots. Building 316 feet by 316 feet, 8 feet high. You're basically looking at 1 acre reservoir, 1 acre large, 8 feet deep. To hold the water, it takes to cool. So if you're circulating the water, see, math it's not really that complicated. If you're circulating 6 million gallons of water, well, you need 6 million gallons in the tank. And then all the volume of all the lines to fill. And then double it so that you can cool it. And that's how big your reservoir is going to have to be. And it gets complicated. It gets very, very complicated. I'm not even going to do the math anymore. Screw it. You guys are done. I'm done with this. Done with this kind of stuff. So the whole craziness of the data centers, I'm sorry. It's the cost of doing internet. It's not about what's right or wrong anymore. See, we made the choice to dance with the devil. Now we have to give him his due. There's only one way to walk away from this. Only one way to stop it, and that's to turn off your TV, turn off everything. Go back to the Stone Age. By the Stone Age, I mean 1952. Even before that. Something says we've been down this road before. May not be the same thing, but it's kind of the same thing. Kind of understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, without getting too deep into the conspiratorial nature of this data sensors, I think that's all I'm going to say about it. I mean, there's lots more to be said about it, but I just think he asked for it. I don't think now is the time to play the victim, say, not in my backyard, please. What have I ever done to, deserve this? Because everybody who's complaining about it is relying on it to do their complaining. Get it? So I'll tell you what I really think about data centers. If I could store everything I wanted to store on my computer and not put it up there in the cloud, then I would, without any hesitation. But just storing video data is huge. And then the pictures and all my emails and stuff like that. I don't have that stuff. It's out there floating. It's in a vault. It's like this. But for your data. How many of you got one of these? This is your storage for your stuff you can hold on to. And this is your storage for the stuff you can't. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say for that. If you got some out of this, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about it. I'm not technically savvy on all this stuff, but I know you generally get what you ask for. And if you ask for the cloud to take care of your data, you don't get a say in how it's done.